It's The Big Show with me, Alex Belfield, and on this programme we like to talk to really clever people, really talented people, and we've got one of those for you today, definitely. David Garrett is the virtuoso. He's a child genius who is second to none on the violin, and he's so popular around the world, and I'm so glad to say he joins us on the programme now. David, how are you?
Very well, thank you very much for having me.
It's a real pleasure because you're so talented, and that's nice, because there aren't that many people in music today who can really do it well.
Well, you know, I think there are, of course, a number of people who are amazing musicians, which I've been working with in the last few years. But you're right. There's, of course, a lot of people out there which maybe are more focusing on PR rather than the real art.
I've had an extraordinary reaction from your fans, particularly in places like Germany, where they're obsessed with you. They love you, don't they?
Well, it's very it's very fascinating for me also to kind of see that, and to be quite honest, I don't really know exactly why they're so enthusiastic. I guess they just enjoy listening to the different varieties in music which I perform, because it's not only one direction. And but I'm very happy, of course, that they get so enthusiastic about the whole project.
And they also think you're a nice bit of trouser. They think you're gorgeous.
Well, that doesn't harm the whole thing, I guess.
What's it like being a child star? Because that's when you started, and that's when everybody became so obsessed with you. There's so many young stars who go on to achieve nothing, yet you're still here. How have you managed to be that person who had the talent and keep your feet on the ground?
Well, it's been not an easy time. I think it's quite a burden to be very good at a very early age, and you pretty much have to fight through your teenage years in order to sustain the drive. And of course, at some point, you have to take responsibility for your art. And I think that's the most difficult time, of course, to make your own decision to continue with that. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle.
Is it God-given?
You definitely need, the physical abilities and, something called talent. But I don't know if it's God-given. I think there's a lot of work involved with it. I mean, you can have a lot of talent and don't work, and I don't think much will come out of it. The other way around, you can work a lot without talent. It's also not going to happen. So it's a good combination of both.
How hard was it when they found out that you had a talent and you had an ability quite extraordinary compared to other people, and they made you work to be as great as you are today? Because as a child, it's very hard to recognise why they're encouraging you to do it, isn't it?
It is, actually. Yeah, you're right. Obviously it was quite difficult. I mean, from my very, very early age, people have been always pretty much telling me that, I was talented and this was the thing I was meant to do. So at some point, I think the difficult thing is to kind of, you just accept it for such a long time until you grow older, and then you kind of start questioning things. Is this really something I want to do? Is it just something I'm, particularly good at? And I think that's the most important question to answer for yourself.
Was it chance that you found the violin? Why that instrument and not the piano, for example?
Well, a little bit of luck. I have a 2-year older brother who started playing the violin first, and I don't think he was particularly good at it, or he didn't like it. Whatever the reason, he kind of gave me his instrument basically to take the attention from him, and I kind of liked it. So a little bit of luck.
How tricky is it? I mean, I play the piano, and it's relatively simple because you've only got a few notes to play. You've only got a few strings to play, but you make it sound so much better than so many other people. What is the skill of playing a violin?
Well, I think you have to be able to listen objectively to yourself. I think that's the key for any musician to, be able to hear you from a different perspective, Also be very critical with what you're doing, never kind of slack on what you want to actually produce.
It's also interesting, isn't it? You see a lot of people touring with big bands and lots of backing groups, particularly singers. There's no hiding away when you play the violin, is there? Because it's you and people just want to hear you.
But why would I hide away? I think the instrument is beautiful, and I think it's... I would never cheat the audience like that.
And tell me about playing the violin, and a particular violin. Is it like driving a car? Some are better than others?
Definitely some are, well, let's put it like that. Some cars work for your personality better, It's you have a choice, of course, and certain things you feel more comfortable in. Same with instruments, certain sounds, certain kind of like, the punchiness, or like more brighter, more darker. You have to find your own voice and, of course, your own violin at some point.
And for you, what makes a great violin? What sound are you looking for?
Well, I think if I play something and I can identify my ideal sound with what I'm doing at that same moment, I think that pretty much explains what I'm looking for.
And I've seen you play many times, and you do go at it hammers and tongs. How much damage can you impose on that violin when you're at those big moments where you're hitting all the notes?
Well, obviously, those instruments are made to kind of sustain that kind of like strength. So normally, under normal circumstances, nothing happens. Of course, it's always possible to slip a little bit with the bow or with the finger, especially when you do like fast pizzicatos. So, yeah, something can happen, but I think, obviously, that's a reasonable risk.